Hello YouTube, how y'all doing? So it's still December here and you're like, oh my god, Adam. Are you serious? 5 months of content over the course of 3 or 4 months. It's not easy to do. It's a lot of work. So there's moon water and tap water in here. And I put some railroad spikes in there that I'm never going to get back. And we'll get to this in a second. But right now, we've got our Mother Mary candle burning. And we're going to invite some spirits to help us. And it's really easy to do because you just need to, at least in my practice, burning cedar really helps to invite them and make them feel welcome. And if you know anything about me, I like my smudge sticks to be super, super smoky. Okay. So we're just gonna invite some spirits. If you can hear the outside world, that's not my problem, that's yours. You know how this works. What we're making today is we're making some war water. And I'm gonna get to this in a second. I'm almost done this 5 months of content. I've got like maybe 3 or 4 videos left to do. Actually, no, I think it's 5 or 6. I can't remember. Okay. My arm fat is jiggling around as I do this. I feel like one of those fat people. You know, where they lift their arm and all of a sudden a gust of wind takes them away? Okay, so we're just going to let some of the smoke settle into the water. And while we do that, we're just going to push some intentions in. So one of the important things to know about war water is it's really depending on your intentions of what you want it to do. You can use body fluids. I've only got water in here, but you could use body fluids, you could use menstrual blood, you could use, if you've got cats, you could make some cat piss and vinegar and put that in here. And in case you're wondering what cat piss and vinegar is, it's literally cat piss mixed with white vinegar. That's it, that's all it is. You could put, if you're making this as a hexing water against somebody, you could put, if you can get some of their hair, toenail clippings, body fluids, whatever, put that in here. The important part is that you'll want to make sure you've got either nails that will rust, or like I've got railroad spikes. And you want to leave them a little bit above the water so that they really, rust it. Now this is going to be used for protection and defense, okay? So the protective parts that we're going to put in is we're going to put in some sage. And we all know what sage does. I've seen a few videos of this on YouTube. And we're just going to put our intentions in of protection and defense. We all know what sage does. Sage is good for protection and cleansing and purity. We're going to put in some white sage ash. because who doesn't love white sage ash? Again, to put our intentions in. We're going to put in some black salt. Put as little or as much as you want in. And again, we're going to do the same thing, intentions of protection and defense. And the reason we burnt the cedar to invite the spirits is because I can feel their energy around me, and I can feel their energy when I'm infusing this with intention, so I'm borrowing a bit of their energy to also pour into this. I work a lot with the spirits, so having their energy around helps to infuse things, to put their energy into this. And then, you know, I've got Mother Mary here because she's protective and she's a mother. I use that element of her. Okay, so now that we've got that part in, because again with the spirits, we're going to put in some graveyard dirt. Now this isn't your typical war water mixture. Lots of books, lots of YouTube videos are going to tell you how to make it, but it all depends upon what your intentions are and what you're using it for. So we're going to put in our intentions of protection and defense, and I'm going to take a second to just call on any spirits in the area to help infuse this with their energies. Okay, so we've got our protective elements in there, and we've got some energy of the spirits in here. The next thing you're going to want to do is for the defensive part. So I like to use juniper berries whenever I'm cursing or hexing somebody, which reminds me I need to buy more of these. I'm also going to put in some bloodroot. Bloodroot's going to be good for curses and hexes and breaking curses and hexes. I'm going to put in white oak bark. Again, another defensive mechanism. And then to keep people at bay, to keep whatever it is that I'm looking to keep at bay, whether it's people, spirits, whatever, I'm going to put in some rue. Rue is really good in cursing and hexing people because it tends to keep them away from you. I'm going to put in some pyrite, and I've kept the little purple sheet, and pyrite is like, it's one of the most powerful preventative stones according to the sheet here. It says that it repels many forms of negative energy, and its protective qualities also work on the physical, etheric, and emotional levels. Pyrite is excellent to keep one's possessions when performing dangerous work. Keep in one's possession. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in some pyrite. And I'm also going to put in some dragon's blood. And I've got a video coming talking about my uses of dragon's blood. I don't see a lot of videos on talking about dragon's blood, but dragon's blood for me, just really quickly to summarize that video that's coming up, is going to help add that extra oomph. It's going to really add that kick. So I'm just adding a cap full of that. You can add, again, you can add as much or as little as you want. So I'm going to also add some oils. So I'm going to add some protection oil. And these are my own personal blends. And I'm just adding a dropper full, half a dropper full. I'm going to add some oil of the dead, which is an oil that I made in a cauldron over the course of 3 days. And a dropper full of that. And that's just gonna, again, infuse it with the essence of the spirits. And I think that's the only other oil I want. I would add some banishing oil, but I don't feel like it needs banishing oil. Okay? So I've added pretty much everything that I want in here, and I'm just gonna put the lid on. And I'm very gently gonna shake this because there is, oh, maybe shaking it's not a good idea. Okay, we're just gonna mix it around like this. Now I'm just gonna put the last of the intentions in. Okay, and there you go. You have war water that you can use for protection and defense. You can strain this if you want and then use it as such. But what I like to do is just, use it out of the container it's in and top it up as I use it. If it starts to grow anything funky, I didn't use any actual herbs or body fluids in here, but if you do, and not like, when I say actual herbs, I mean like non-dried herbs. If you use any of that or body fluids or whatever, just make sure that if anything funky starts to grow, just chuck it and start again. But what I would do, since I've used only dry stuff and nothing in here can start growing anything, is I would just start topping it up as needed. So, use a little bit, top it up, use a little bit, top it up. And always remember to put your intentions in and remember exactly what this is for. In this particular mixture, it's for protection and for defensive magics, okay? So if you've got a witch doing magic against you, one of the ways I would use this is I would flip a mirror upside down and burn a black candle on it, and then make a circle, pour a circle of this around the mirror. Any magics they send your way not only will bounce back, but if their magics are strong enough to get past your mirror, if it quote unquote shatters the mirror, then what will happen is that the black candle will absorb it, and any magics that black candle can't absorb will not be able to escape the circle of this. If you're trying to do magics against a witch, flip your mirror upside down and pour a little bit of this on that back part of the mirror and put your candle there, and any divination they try to do to see, okay, who's doing magic against me, not only will fail, but your spell will be increased in potency. If you've seen my fire oil videos, you will know that I use fire oil in everything. It is basically as powerful, if not even more powerful than dragon's blood for adding that kick. So you could add fire oil to this, and then you've got a really potent weapon to use, okay? So I hope that you guys have learned something from this, and I hope that this helps you. In case you're wondering how long to let this sit, because I've added a crystal to it, what I'm probably going to do is let it sit under the full moon. So I haven't looked up the times yet of when the next full moon is, but I'm probably going to let it sit under the full moon before I use this. Now, I did state at the beginning of this video that there is moon water in here, and that's going to help to charge that crystal. And I am going to be putting some selenite on here, which is going to put its energies into the water as well to help charge that crystal. But I always like to put my waters that I make, or my oils, when they contain gems and whatnot in them, under a full moon, just to get that extra charge. Okay? So I hope you guys learned something, and I hope this was helpful. I'd like to see your fire waters, your war waters. Make some video responses, post links to images below, so on and so forth. And until next time, my little YouTubian creatures, I will see y'all later.